This is Dan here from Con of Thrones here with Daenerys Targaryen. How'd you come up with this idea? Did you make it yourself or buy it or what?
I did. I made it myself. It was trickier than I thought and more tedious, so I didn't get to the sleeves, but with this Dallas weather, it's been kind of perfect for it. So
That's a good point.
I've always loved Marjorie. I thought she would have been a great queen had she not been so tragically blown up. So I had to represent her in honor of her, and he was Tormund because he had this perfect beard, and so we just had to, we had to do it.
I love Sansa. I think she's such a complex character and she's grown so much, and I know she gets a lot of hate from people who are like, well, she makes poor decisions, but I think she's a realistic character, and I love how strong she becomes, especially in the most recent season, being the Lady of Winterfell, and so I love her, and I was really excited to get to dress as her.
I already had the body and the beard, so
it worked out.
It worked out.
It took 2 years for me to grow my beard out. Now I'm pretty much tortured by doing anything Momoa does anywhere. So I can only do Aquaman, Drogo. That's basically it. If he ever shaves his beard, I'm effed. That's it.
After a very exhaustive effort, I ended up renting this costume. I was going to make it. I went and talked to costume designers, tried to have people look to make it. They're going to charge me $900 to make one. So I finally rented it in Kansas City, Missouri, and then we drove down last night for the show.
For me, a lot of the cosplayers, the best ones, kind of resemble their characters a little bit, and I do not, so I wanted to do something creative. I'm naturally pale, I have blue eyes, I'm like, I'll be the ice dragon.
You know, the important thing about pulling off a good Dothraki is the careful smoky eye. I mean, the struggle is real out there, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you.
You know, there's an argument or a fun discussion in the Westworld world about whether or not Westeros is one of the lands on the Westworld island. And so I was like, that could be fun. I could just pretend that I'm on the wrong part of the island.
I just love to play the villain, so thank you. It is so hot.
What inspired your King T'Challa Stark costume, and did you make it yourself or buy it, or how'd this come together?
It was all commission, and it was a random idea. It just randomly came to me, and I was like, you know what? Why not do a Game of Thrones Black Panther, because I wanted to do something different from the traditional Black Panther, because everybody's doing that one, so I wanted to do something different.
Actually, I did a two-part costume. That yesterday I was Catelyn Stark, and I wanted something that I could kind of expand Catelyn, and so I did her yesterday, and then did Lady Stoneheart today.
I wanted to be Cersei and Jaime because I thought that was ironically funny because we're together, and he was not down for that, so he said we had to pick something else. And so then I wanted to be Brienne and Tormund because they're my favorite characters of the entire series. But then that wasn't realistic because I'm short and because those costumes were hard to put together. So that's kind of how we came to this, that we like that they're kind of the linchpin characters of the story, because you don't really, like, none of what we are seeing in like traditional Game of Thrones would have happened without them falling in love. Like, they kind of started this whole thing.
On the show, we don't get any female White Walkers, and so I don't know if they're gonna do a female White Walker ever. I figured she would lean into the slur of like, oh, crows. North of the Wall, you say crow, that's like saying a really bad word to like the Night's Watch people. And she's like, oh no, I'm Queen Crow. So I wanted feathers. And then I'm all about ice spiders, and I'm really bad at hot glue guns, so I have spider webs anyway, so I just leaned into it and was like, let's go with it.
I am Nymeria, Princess Nymeria. She is the princess of the Rhoynar. She came over to Dorne with her 1,000 ships, and she wed Mors Martell from Dorne. I just figured, like, I wanted to do something a little different because she's not a very well-known character if you don't read the books. Right. So I thought it was something different that I could probably pull off, and it's, you know, pretty much my own imagination basically, because we don't have a lot of, you know, imagery, imagery of her. So, you know, I said I'm gonna go with Nymeria.
It was a fun, easy costume, and my hair's already red. So yeah, and I love the bell sleeves. I got mine off of Amazon. I didn't make it or anything, but it's been really fun to go and dance around. And I do love the character. She's not my favorite. Tyrion's probably my favorite character, but yeah.
My wife and I ordered our costumes from a designer in Germany under Volto Nero, so voltonero.com costumes, I think. But she was featured in some of the Game of Thrones like costume books. So we saw her and we were like, yeah, we have to get her to do something, and she made my wife Sansa outfit, and we actually gave her a picture and said, can you make this Barrack costume? And she said, yeah, and she made it, and it was great. And everything that I'm wearing was made by her, and we made the sword, which is falling apart right now, but That's how good we are at making things.
What inspired you to come up to the wall?
Wall just likes to make people laugh. Wall thought it'd be funny. Wall made it out of cardboard.